Aloha, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Coyote. I am pleased and very excited today to bring you a video that a lot of you have been waiting very patiently for. This video will be of my Athena rocket launcher. Today we will be firing a C-class engine out of it. I know a lot of you had hoped to see one of the larger engines fired out of it, and had also requested to see a model airplane shot down with it. However, due to legal issues, that will not be able to be shown on video. Also, I'd like to stress at this point that this is for entertainment purposes only. This device is not used in a military aspect, nor is it designed to show how to be used in a military aspect. This is for entertainment purposes only, and only to be used with model rocketry with A through C class engines only, nothing larger. Now, before I get into showing you how everything works on this and what I've all built, I'd like to stress a couple of safety points. This type of setup is very dangerous for anybody who has not worked with this type of thing before. If you're not familiar with how rocketry works or how to design a system like this, please do not build one of these yourself. Just buy like an Estes launcher station and use that. This is very dangerous if not used properly. A couple of safety things on the side as well. When I do a live fire here, we will have safety equipment at the ready. I have 3 water hoses on standby for any fires that break out. I've got the med kits here with field dressings, burn creams, basically anything that could possibly be needed, compression dressing, stuff like that. I do have safety goggles and ear protection. In the event of a blowout on the tube, we'll have the safety equipment to hopefully prevent me from any serious harm should a blowout occur. Now, as far as the blowouts go, I'll explain real quick what could possibly happen. This that I designed it with is not steel, it is PVC pipe. Reason being, that is a 7-foot tube, and 7 feet of steel would be really heavy for anybody to try and shoulder mount, much less carry around or anything like that. So this is PVC. However, this is not standard PVC, not standard plastic. This is Schedule 40, designed to handle extremely high heat settings, both hot and cold, I should say, but we're more interested in it handling the heat from the engine so that the plastic doesn't warp or melt and cause problems. So we'll start out going around here. There's a three-part safety system on my design here. The first is the control box here. It's the electronic controls. This right here is a 12-volt control box, and yes, I did say that correctly, 12-volt. A standard model rocket, say just your average Estes rocket, will take approximately 2 to 3 volts to ignite. I went a little overkill just in case like ever wanted to fire something a little larger out of the tube. Higher class engine, it can handle it. First safety is with the switch. Light goes on, the system is powered up, and it sends the power to this switch here. That buzz sound that you hear tells me that the current is now live in the final trigger, and when depressed the engine will ignite and it will be live fire at that point. The control box is mounted on a Velcro setup. This entire system is designed to be broken down into 5 different parts very quickly and can be transported very quickly if need be, and can save a lot of space. So it's just Velcroed on, and all I got to do is line up the posts when I mount it, and it's mounted in perfect position. We'll go around to the front part here. The flange that you see here, it's kind of hard to see, I've got a bad glare, but the flange that you see here is designed for blowback use on large engine flare-up, but more so than that, it just kind of looks cool. So unless you're firing something really big out of there, you're not really going to have to worry about heavy blowback, because you'll be mounted way in the back there. But it does look cool, so hooah. Next we've got the scope. I mounted a scope on there. It is rated for 500 yards. That too is velcroed on, and I've got post positioning there, so all I have to do is line up the posts on it, and it will be perfectly sighted for my personal sights. Going around to the back end, this is the blowback, and you see here I've got the two wires going on the inside with the gator clips on them. Now what I do is I connect the gator clips to the leads on the engine itself, and then it prepares it for launch. Now, one of the things I want to stress with this, you'll notice I don't have any port covers on this. The reason being, this is a rocket launcher, and it's designed to launch rockets and not bullets. You do not want a port cover on there because you don't want to pressurize your chamber. Pressurized chamber are for bullets only, not for rockets. Rocket engines are designed to fire and become mobile on their own accord, and all they need is the guidance, which is what the tube provides. It provides the guidance. If you put the back port on there and you pressurize that chamber, as you stand here preparing to launch with that mounted on your shoulder, that chamber becomes overpressurized and runs the risk of blowing out and sending shrapnel into your neck and face and head and stuff, and it just, you know, it really wrecks your day. So just be aware of that kind of thing. Some people get it confused when they build stuff like this. They don't realize you don't need or want a pressurized chamber on it. Now my trajectory here, I'll be firing, as I said, a C-class engine, and I'll be using a Athena rocket. I thought it would be fitting to use that model, considering that's what I named my device here, is the Athena launcher. I decided to use a Estes Athena rocket. I did make one minor modification to the rocket itself. I enhanced the engine port on it, so instead, normally you'd put in a C7-5, I believe it is, with that one. I widened the hole a bit and made it able to take a C11-7 with it. So generally all your engine classes are going to be the same size per class. Like A will be one size, all the B's and all the C's a different size. The C11 is a little different animal. It's designed a little bigger than the other C class engines, and gives a lot more oomph to it. So what's going to happen is I'll do a live fire in the day here, and then also one in the night time, and hopefully with that larger engine size it produces a little bit bigger flare. Since I couldn't use a larger engine for legal purposes, I'm hoping the C11 will give a little bit bigger flare to give you an idea of really how cool this thing is. My trajectory, we've got approximately 2 miles over to work with, a little over 2 miles to work with for safety. What I'll be doing is I'll be angling the trajectory almost straight up and down to prevent any accidents from happening. It is rated, even this here rocket that I'll be firing, it is rated at 1,200 meters. Designed with this here unit, it will fire up to 3,000 meters. So you really got to be kind of careful on your trajectories. So I'll be firing it almost straight up and down with that. So keep in mind when you build this stuff too, what you're firing at. Be aware of your surroundings, be aware of wind conditions. We've got very low wind today. I know the camera might be picking up some wind, but we do have very low wind, very low high altitude wind as well. And yeah, you just kind of want to be aware of your environment on that. So with that in mind, I'll be handing the camera over to my other cameraman here, and I'll be shoulder mounting this, loading up the rocket, shoulder mounting, and preparing to fire the daytime launch. Aloha, this is Coyote. We are at this time going to do the live fire, the day live fire. I cannot show you the way to mount the rocket or anything about the rocket for legal purposes, but I will be using the Athena with a C-class engine in it. At this point I'll put on all my safety gear and we will fire over the range I discussed, and hopefully everything goes well. Chambers hot. Fire! Ladies and gentlemen, that is a successful launch of the Athena 1 rocket launcher. I hope you enjoyed it. I will be doing the nighttime live fire so that you'll be able to see the flames shoot out from the C-class engine. I apologize we couldn't use the larger one, but again, for legal purposes, that was not allowed. However, I will now be getting ready for the night fire, and hopefully you enjoy it. Aloha, this is Coyote. We are about to do the night shoot. We're in the shed right now for lighting purposes here, but we're going to go outside and fire off the night shot. There was some issues with the former rocket I was going to fire. This one here is pretty much a homemade one, just so we could get one fired off for you. I didn't want to leave out the night shot, so I designed this one. Not really sure how it's going to handle in the tubing I've got, but it may light up. We'll find out. I do have the hose ready and all the safety and medical equipment handy, so in case anything happens, we will be prepared. Hopefully it'll put on a decent show for you though, and we'll see what happens. Control is hot. Chambers hot. Fire! Ladies and gentlemen, that was my Athena rocket launcher, the Athena 1. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it. I just stress again that please do not try assembling a unit like this at home unless you have a good deal of experience with it and understand the methods behind it and understand the safety and caution warnings behind doing something like this. Everything worked out fine tonight. No glitches in the system. Sometimes there are. Just be aware that if you do something like this, you have to be prepared for any situations. So anyway, that was the Athena 1 model that I built. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please leave comments and like my video if you would. It'd really help me out. And then also, if you would, just send me a message, let me know what else you'd like to see, and I'll see if I can produce it for you. This is the Coyote, signing off.